All of a sudden, huge earthquakes are hitting the west coast of the United States and other high risk areas, Michael Schneider reports. Have you noticed that there have been a lot of very unusual earthquakes around the globe this week? Suddenly, large earthquakes have started to erupt in some of the most high risk areas of the planet. Not only that, we have volcanoes as well. Mauna Loa, together with Kilauea, is erupting in Hawaii. So suddenly, large earthquakes have started to erupt in some of the most high risk areas of the planet. Unfortunately, that includes the west coast of the United States. For years, I've written and warned my readers about what will happen when the big one finally hits the west coast. Could it be possible that the quakes that we're witnessing right now indicate that the fault zones along the west coast are starting to wake up again? Let's hope not, because this would really be a very bad time for historic seismic events. At the beginning of the month, magnitude 6 earthquake shook a large area near California coastline, and that quake took a lot of experts by surprise. Many of them assured us that things would settle back down, but now an even larger quake struck. Recently, a magnitude 6.2 earthquake hit off the coast of Baja California. The magnitude 6.2 earthquake struck near the coast of Mexico's Baja California, with impacts felt over 150 miles away in Southern California. The United States Geological Survey says the quake occurred in the Pacific Ocean, about 125 miles south of the U.S. border. So should we be concerned? I don't know, but recently we've had a couple of other large quakes that have gotten a lot of people talking. A magnitude 5.2 earthquake struck just off the coast of Oregon, and magnitude 5.5 earthquake struck just off the coast of Alaska. It's unusual to see so many large quakes happening along the west coast in such a short period of time. Hopefully, all of this activity is not building up to something larger. Interestingly, we also just witnessed the biggest earthquake that we've seen in Texas in decades, but many are blaming that particular quake on fracking. According to USGS, the earthquake occurred November 16, just west of Paco, Texas. This was the state's largest earthquake since 1995, and it was felt as far as El Paso. The Oil and Gas Regulatory Agency is trying to understand if this was a natural occurring earthquake or if it was caused by wastewater from fracking. Wastewater disposal from fracking has dramatically increased the number of earthquakes in Texas. The seismic activity has especially become more common around the Permian Basin in West Texas, where oil and gas production is concentrated, according to the Texas Tribune. It's not every day that a magnitude 5.4 earthquake happens in Texas, but it is probably not anything to be alarmed about. I wish the same could be said for quakes along the west coast. Scientists assure us that the big one is way overdue, and when it finally does arrive, it will cause a tremendous amount of devastation. Elsewhere, other high-risk areas around the globe are being greatly shaken as well. For example, 5.6 earthquake in Indonesia. Hundreds of people lost their lives there, injured, scores more displaced after a magnitude 5.6 earthquake hit Indonesia's main island, and at least 162 victims, 700 hurt because of a shallow tremor hitting West Java near the town of Cianjur, 45 miles south of the capital of Jakarta. The quake triggered a landslide and collapsed buildings in hard-hit Cianjur, where most of the victims were reported, but also shook tower blocks in Jakarta, Indonesia, for 3 terrifying minutes as people rushed on the streets. CNN reported that the tolls went up to 268, but the number inevitably higher. Rescuers digging through the debris to find survivors of the powerful earthquake. It toppled homes and buildings in a highly populated area of Indonesia's West Java, and a further 151 people remain missing. So the 5.6 magnitude quake that hit Cianjur region in West Java at a depth of 10 kilometers, so it was pretty shallow, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, causing buildings to collapse while school classes were underway. And recently in the Solomon Islands, they were hit by a magnitude 7 earthquake, and that was quickly followed by a magnitude 6 aftershock. The first quake hit off the depth of 15 kilometers, 9 miles, about 16 kilometers southwest of the area of Malango, said the U.S. Geological Survey, which initially put its magnitude at 7.3 before revising it down to 7. The second quake, with a magnitude of 6, struck nearly 30 minutes later, so that was an aftershock. The big quakes are happening so rapidly now that it really is difficult to keep up with them all. Just a little while ago, there was a magnitude 6.1 earthquake in Turkey, and by that time you read the article, more unusual quakes may have happened. Our planet has become an extremely unstable place, and many are concerned that much more instability is in our future. Meanwhile, large herds of animals are suddenly walking in circles all over the globe, and nobody knows why. Why would so many herds of animals exhibit such unusual behavior all at the same time? Can they sense that something big is coming? I don't know, but I certainly think that we should all be monitoring events very carefully. We live in such crazy times, and I have a feeling that they will soon get a lot more crazier. And it's finally here, Michael's new book entitled End Times, now available on paperback and for Kindle on Amazon. He says, my name is Michael Schneider. My brand new book entitled End Times is now available on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I've written 6 other books that are available on Amazon, including 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of my books, you help to support the work that I'm doing. And one way that you can really help is by sending copies as gifts to family and friends. Time is short, and I need help getting these warnings into the hands of as many people as possible. I've published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, and of the American Dream and the Most Important News. And the articles that I publish on those sites are republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I always freely, happily allow others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. The material contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, financial, or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and any way that you can share these articles with others is definitely great help. These are such troubled times, and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, I strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. This is by Michael Schneider on End of the American Dream. I'll leave a link below. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.